Your sense of self is holding you back. It is holding you back in the context of wealth creation, and it is holding you back in the context of starting your six, seven, and nine figure brand.
10X Branding and Marketing LLC, powering the next generation of unicorns. At 10X B&M LLC, we specialize in market research, brand innovation, market integration, and client conversion optimization. Our team of experts is dedicated to providing the strategic insights and innovative solutions needed to accelerate growth and unlock your company's full potential. Whether you're a startup looking to attract investors and your ideal clients, or an established business ready for market expansion, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Let 10X Branding and Marketing LLC fuel your journey to exceptional business success. Contact us now for a free consultation on how we can position your business to become a unicorn.
The information that I'm going to provide today, it is designed to achieve three objectives. One, to help you to master your sense of self. Second, to master your sense of purpose, and to master your sense of direction. So over the next few days, we are going to be doing a deep dive into these concepts. And as I said, the aim is to ensure that moving forward, your sense of self is no longer holding you back, but instead it is pushing you forward in the context of starting and scaling your six, seven, and nine figure brand, in the context of building wealth, and in the context of becoming a global influencer. One of the things that I've recognized after many years of teaching this subject is that sometimes when we say master your sense of self, it's an abstract term to the majority of people. What exactly does it mean to master your sense of self? To master your sense of self, one, it means you have to master how you see yourself. You see, when you master how you see yourself, you master who you are. That's the foundation. That's the beginning. What I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight four concepts that should help you to get greater clarity on practical steps that you can take to master how you see yourself. Now, I don't want you to see yourself based on how your mom and dad brought you up, because I know for a fact that many persons, you have negative experiences. I don't want you to see yourself based on how you were socialized to life, because I'm fully aware that the majority of people, you have bad and negative socialization to life. I want you to go even further. I want you to go to the master, the creator of all creations, and I want you to draw from that rich history and start seeing yourself in that light, in the real context of how you should be seeing yourself. So the question I want to put to you now, are you a member of royalty? Are you a member of the house of goddess? And I want you to think about this, because I know many of you, you're going to be laughing to yourself, and you're going to be saying, no, I could never be part of that. But as a Christian, you should be holding yourself to a higher standard, all right? A completely higher standard. And let me begin to break this down. When God made man, he took the fertile soil and he made man into the image of his liking. But then he did something else that was very significant after he made man into the image of his liking. He breathed his breath of life into man. It was then called Adam and Eve. He breathed his breath of life into man. And the main fact that he deposited his royalty, his breath of life into man, it's a clear indication that you have his DNA. It's just like you were born to your mom and dad, and when you check the DNA of your mom and dad and you link it, it can be linked right back to you. The same principle applies. You are a walking, living evidence that you are a carrier of the DNA of Christ. You're a shareholder in that type of royalty. So as you begin to ask yourself, who am I and how should I see myself? How to start seeing yourself? It's important to make the connection there. Now, I want you to make the connection here because of the fact that I want you to start saying to yourself, it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter where you're at. I want you to know and believe it in your heart that you have the potential to achieve greatness. And as you start to do this and build healthy practice around this day after day, you're going to find that that negative sense of self that you have is going to start to dissipate. And that positive, strong sense of self that you are now giving birth to is going to now start to dominate. And they say the dominant thought always manifests. So that's the first thing that I want you to recognize, is to recognize that you are a product of royalty. If you're a Christian, you need to believe this. The second concept that I want you to look at as you begin to ask yourself, how can I see myself? How can I master my sense of self? The second concept that I want you to look at is, I want you to ask yourself, how creative was God and how creative is God? And let us begin to look at this. The God that I'm talking about, he created the heaven and the earth. He created the firmament. He created the animals. He created the very breath that you breathe. This is how creative he is. The things that he has created, it is in creation for thousands of years, for millions of years, and who knows, perhaps billions of years. And that is how unique he is in his creation. Now, what I want you to do is to combine these two things. One, you have Christ's DNA inside of you, so you're a shareholder in the house of lords. Second, you have Christ's creative ability inside of you. And if you doubt this, you just have to go back to history of what mankind has been able to do. You can look at the Rockefellers, you can look at the Rothschilds, you can look at more recent Bill Gates, and you can look at people like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. It's a clear example how creative these minds are. So as you begin to ask yourself the best way to go about mastering your sense of self, you have enough examples out there upon which to draw upon. The third concept that I want you to consider, now that you know all of this, it's very important that you ask yourself, how awakened are you? You need to put yourself in that awakened state. You need to master your state of awakeness. So day after day, you need to be awakened of how you should start seeing yourself and all the reasons why you should be seeing yourself, not in lack, limitation, doubts, and fear, but as a human being who has the rich potential to emulate your creator. All right? You can definitely emulate your creator in some aspects. Now, I'm saying all of this because of the fact that if you don't bring yourself to this point, you will always be consumed by the negative thoughts that is holding you back, by a sense of self that is undermining your progress. And you need to put yourself in the right frame of mind when you want to position yourself to attain greatness. So I'm fully aware that your sense of self is holding you back from attaining financial independence, from becoming a global influencer, from becoming all of these great things. And the only way to break free from them is to really learn how to master your true sense of self. The last concept that I'm going to share with you, because I'm doing a high level overview, you must ask yourself, now that you know all of this, you're a member of the gods of God. You have Christ's DNA inside of you. You are now aware of God's creative ability, and you have seen this shine, show, and exemplify in a lot of creative minds who have walked the earth and some who are still on the earth. Now you have to ask yourself, how prepared are you to awaken your giant within to master your sense of self so you too can go after greatness? The great book says, so as a man thinketh, so is he. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can move mountains. What mountains do you want to move in your life right now? Perhaps your mountain is to position yourself to build wealth, to position yourself to attain financial independence so you can do more for yourself and your loved ones. Perhaps the mountain that you want to move is to start and scale your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand. But I believe that you can do this. The important thing here, however, is you believing that you have what it takes to make great things happen. Be blessed and see you in the next.
Elevate your business with 10X Branding and Marketing LLC. Our expert team specializes in enhancing your brand's visibility and connecting you with your ideal clients. We employ strategies that increase reach, leaving a lasting impact and driving client conversion. Trust and credibility are vital in businesses and excel in building them even with a limited budget. Our cost-effective approaches ensure you get the best results without overspending. Ready to boost your business cash flow? Contact us at 332-235-T99 and let 10X Branding and Marketing LLC guide you to success. Our focus is on elevating your visibility, which directly translates to growth. Experience the power of effective branding and marketing with us and witness your business thrive.
Any attempt to master your sense of self means that you must learn, apply, and master 3 important concepts. One is how to see yourself. Second is you must master your state of being. And third, you must master your ability to apply yourself. And when you're able to synchronize these three important concepts, it gives you greater mastery over your sense of self. In the very first chapter of this discussion, I do a high level overview of practical steps that you can take to master how you see yourself. And we said that master how you see yourself and master who you are. And we begin to do that deep dive by associating you with royalty. And we say that you were molded and shaped in the image and likeness of God. We talked that story. Look back at that lesson so you can learn more. But then we went forward and we began to examine your creative abilities. And the main fact that you have the creator DNA inside of you, it was clearly established that you have some of those abilities too. We look at a number of examples that people in the world have demonstrated their ability to achieve greatness. And we also say that this is also some examples that you can take to see yourself in the context and in the light in which you ought to be seeing yourself, because you are not lack, you are not limitation, you are not doubt, and you should never represent fear. You're better than all of this. The fact that you might not have been exposed to this body of knowledge doesn't change the fact that you have Christ's DNA inside of you and you have the ability to achieve greatness. We also talk last but not least, we spoke a lot about awakening the giant within. Do you know how to awaken your giant within? And this is very important. Today, we're going to be looking at mastering your state of being. What it takes to master your state of being. You have to embrace your essence. You have to embrace all of you. But the moment you start to exercise doubts and fear, you start to undermine your sense of self. And every time you undermine your sense of self, you're undermining your ability to build wealth. You're undermining your ability to start and scale that 6, 7, and 9-figure brand. So how do you master your state of being? You need to embrace all of you. But I want to do a slight deviation because I'm fully aware of what is getting in the way of you mastering your sense of self. There's a concept that we call your self-image theory. And you have 4 self-image theory. The one that you should be amplifying in your life for the strangest of reasons, or for known reasons, it's not fully amplified in your life. In another chapter, I will go deeper into your self-image theory that is hijacking your ability to position yourself for greatness. But let's do that deep dive into mastering your state of being. So you want to awaken the giant within. First of all, the giant within is your awakeness that you have the ability to achieve great things. And for example, the example that I want to share is that the Rockefellers, they have achieved greatness. All right. The Bill Gates, they have achieved greatness. The Elon Musk, they have achieved greatness. And you want to become aware of your ability to achieve greatness. All right. You want to become aware of this. Now that you're aware of this, you want to embrace this awareness. And that's what I call embrace the giant within. You want to embrace this awareness. Now that you begin to embrace this awareness, because I'm going to give you some step-by-step approaches that I want you to apply. Embracing this is you believe in, you knowing that this is possible, and you bring in all of your belief into knowing that once they can achieve it, it is quite possible that you can achieve the same. So it begins by embracing that awareness. The second thing that I want you to do is to identify one thing to become great at, just one. Now, what I've seen is that many persons in the world who wants to achieve greatness, you tend to do multiple things at the same time. And to do multiple things at the same time, it requires more human resources, more capital resources, more technical resources. Embracing your state of being, I want you to find out one thing, all right, that you want to be great at. For example, that one thing could be that you want to learn, apply, and master the art of debt mitigation. You want to learn, apply, and master the art of starting that 6, 7, and 9-figure brand. You want to learn, apply, and master the art of the client conversion optimization. Whatever that is, I want you to focus on one thing. And I want you to commit your time, talent, and resources to master this. The third thing that I want you to do when you're now attempting to master your state of being, I want you to commit to build your legacy plan. Because you're not just committing your time, talent, and resources to become a master at something, not to have a legacy behind it. You want a legacy that possibly can live long after you. And this is how I want you to start thinking. You have the ability to do this. All right. You have the ability to do this. And my role is to provide you with the information and the support to help to get you there. The fourth step that I want you to look at is how to build and master daily habits for your legacy plan. So you're building and mastering daily habits as it relates to the one thing that you want to master. And this is the approach that you're going to be using to not only awaken the giant within, but to embrace the giant within you. And let me quickly go through this. I want you to come to that point now where you can master your state of being, embrace your essence, become awakened that you were born to achieve greatness. Now that you're awakened to this, I want you to embrace this. I want you to identify one thing that you want to be great at. I want you to build your legacy plan around that one thing. Your legacy plan should say, I want to build a plan that is going to last for 10,000 years. It's going to live long after you. Your children will be the inheritance of the legacy plan that you developed. And now you're breaking curses, you're breaking, negative beliefs. You're breaking stronghold over your life. It can begin and end with you right now. And I'm sounding like a pastor now, right? That might not have been the intention. But I want you to believe in yourself because your sense of self is what is holding you back. And it's time that you start to take ownership over your life. It is time. So the fourth step here is to build and master daily habits in alignment with the legacy that you want to create, in alignment with identifying that one thing that you want to be great at, in alignment with embracing your giant within. So I trust that these tips would have helped you. We will go deeper into these concepts over a period of time. But for now, I trust that you're enjoying this journey that we are on in giving you tips to master your sense of self. Any attempt to master your sense of self means that you must understand yourself in two contexts, in the context of theory and in the context of practice. Over the last two chapters of this podcast, we have looked at those very two important concepts. We begin by looking at mastering your sense of self by looking at one, how to master your sense of self. We look at mastering how you see yourself, and we do a deep dive into steps that you can take to master how you see yourself. We then went on to look at issues like mastering your state of being, and we do a deep dive into steps that you can take to master your state of being. And this is the theory of mastering your sense of self. Now, there's a practical aspect of mastering your sense of self, and this is something that you want to learn, apply, and master. And today we're going to do a deep dive into helping you to understand some of the theory and practice of how you can begin to now master this. Now that you understand that you are part of royalty, now you've learned to embrace that side. It's also important for you to not only be aware and awaken to the fact that you're part of royalty, but also want to embrace that. Now that you have embraced this, you want to shine in your essence. You want to master your ability to apply that belief that you have. And why is this so important? It is important again because people can never grow beyond their sense of self. Self is shaped by all of those things that we have talked about in the last two episodes. So I want you now to embrace those two episodes and now set yourself to start applying yourself with this new awakening. You're part of royalty. As you begin to apply yourself with this belief, it's not just applying yourself, because I'm fully aware that having the belief and the awakening that you are part of royalty and embracing that royalty is not enough to apply yourself with that scientific edge. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So when I talk about mastering your ability to apply yourself in the context of activating your greatness and embracing the giant within you, the giant within you is you knowing that you can achieve great things and going after great things, but there's a method in how you're going to apply yourself. To apply yourself, we talk about mastering proactive leadership. So as you apply yourself to be proactive proactive means that you're thinking ahead. To be proactive means that you're seeing beyond problems. To be proactive means that you're able to take informed action to achieve desired results. To put yourself in that position of strength to take informed action to achieve desired results, you must understand the manual in which you're using to apply yourself to achieve desired end results. And for example, if you talk to the Rockefellers, because of the fact that they have created history in the process of wealth creation, they have a manual. They have a book that they're using day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, that is positioning them to attain predictable outcome. So in this context of applying yourself, are you in this position to apply yourself to attain greatness based on proven theory, best practices that can give you the high reward, the measurable results, the predictable outcome with the highest degree of accuracy? In the attempt to master your sense of self, you want to be certain that you're exposed to the kind of information that will help you to make better, smarter, wiser decisions. So there's a number of things that you need to think ahead about. Perhaps you should start thinking ahead about people that can mentor you and coach you and support you and sponsor you, that can make your pathway easier to attain whatever objective you want to attain. That definitely can help you to get a stronger sense of self because you've thought ahead of these important concepts and now you're applying yourself. You know what you need to do to apply yourself to build healthy, productive relationship with critical stakeholders that can help you to achieve the things that you're applying yourself to accomplish. We call it proactive leadership. You have to master proactive leadership. You're thinking ahead of what you want to accomplish. You're seeing beyond all of the problems and you know exactly how to take informed action to attain a desired end results. Any ability to do this or having a blueprint to do this is what's going to help you to have an enhanced sense of self. All right, so there are ways and best practices that you can use to accomplish this. As you think ahead, see beyond problems, and take informed action to achieve desire, it is helping you to understand a scientific approach to apply yourself. It is helping you to understand the proven theory in applying yourself. It is helping you to understand the best practices in applying yourself. So you're taking all the guesswork out of applying yourself and you're using the data now. All right, you're using the data. Either you're researching the data, collecting the data, analyzing the data, and leveraging the data, or you're building healthy, productive relationship with people who have the data, so they're able to give you the right mentor, the right coach, and the right support to move you towards achieving your end result. This go a very far way in helping you to have an enhanced sense of self. Today we're talking about mastering your sense of self. You see, let me say something else to you. One of the reasons many people struggle in life to build wealth, to start your 6, 7, and 9-figure brand is because you lean in completely on your sense of awareness, your sense of understanding, when in fact you can have a mentor and a coach, you can have a sponsor, you can have supportive community helping you to make better, smarter, wiser decisions. And think about this: who is likely to have a stronger sense of self as they apply themselves after success? You have Tom, who is simply shooting in the dark, and you have Paul, who is building relationship with mentor, coach, sponsor, supportive community, who have been there, done that 1,000 times over, and they are willing to support Paul to achieve his objective. Who's going to have a stronger sense of self? Obviously, Paul. So there are methods of approaches that you need to learn, apply, and master in your effort to master your sense of self as you set yourself up to attain success, to build wealth. You may have doubts right now, but the reason you're going to have doubts, you need to ask yourself, do you have a mentor that can replace doubts with confidence? You may not have the belief that you can be financially independent. If that is your belief, you need to ask yourself, do you have a mentor who have attained financial independence many times over, who is willing to coach you? The reason you're going to have doubts and fear here is because you don't have the right mentor. So it's not having the right mentor is undermining your sense of self, and there are ways in which you could fix it. So my last words here: when you want high reward in business, in wealth creation, measurable results, predictable outcome with the highest degree of accuracy, when you want to shine in your S, it makes sense to get a mentor, to get a coach, the right coaches, right sponsors, and be part of the right supportive community that can help you to make better, smarter, wiser decisions. Be blessed and see you in the next broadcast.
Gary Thompson, the sales communication professional, best-selling author and private equity investor, says, Master the client conversion ladder and optimize your business success. He continues, many rising stars in business try to get from A to Z in a split second in the client conversion journey. That approach will set you up for frustration, time, money, and effort being wasted. The alphabet has 26 letters. Each letter has great significance in words formation and in human expression. The client conversion process has many steps, and when these steps are overlooked, it negatively influences your ability to attract and communicate with the ideal client. You must invest in breaking through the know, like, and trust barriers that allow you to win in business. He went on to say, the first step in your client conversion journey begins with relationships. 1. Fill the relationship gaps. 2. Leverage relationships to overcome client rejection. 3. And position your brand to stand out in the market. Gary wants you to be successful and invites you to call us today to help you master the client conversion ladder, optimize your brand recognition, and increase the cash flow of your business.